You clicked a link. It looked exactly like your bank. The login page was identical. You typed your password. Then nothing happened. 30 seconds later, your account was empty. Phishing is one of the oldest tricks in the digital world, and it is still one of the most effective. In this video, we break down exactly how it works, why human psychology makes it nearly impossible to stop with technology alone, and what you can do to protect yourself. The word phishing comes from the 1990s hacker slang for phishing with a fake lure. The spelling with a PH is a nod to the older phone hacking community called phreakers. The concept is simple. Send someone a convincing fake message, get them to take an action they should not, and harvest the result. At its core, phishing is social engineering. It does not attack your computer directly. It attacks you. It exploits trust, urgency, and the fact that humans are wired to respond to perceived authority and time pressure. A firewall cannot stop you from willingly handing over your password. The anatomy of a phishing attack follows a predictable pattern. First, the attacker chooses a target. This could be a specific person, a company, or a broad population. Then they craft a pretext, a believable story. They send the lure, usually an email, a text message, or a phone call. They host a fake destination, such as a cloned website. And finally, they collect the credential or data that the victim submitted. Email phishing is the most common form. A message arrives appearing to come from a trusted source. Your bank, your employer, a courier company, or a cloud storage provider. The message contains a link. The link goes to a fake login page. You log in. The attacker records your credentials. Spear phishing is targeted phishing. Instead of a generic blast sent to millions of addresses, the attacker researches a specific individual. They know your name, your role, who your manager is, which projects you are working on. The email feels personal and specific. Detection rates drop dramatically when the message references real details about your life. Whaling is spear phishing aimed at high-value targets: executives, board members, financial controllers. A message claiming to be from the CEO asking a finance officer to wire funds urgently is called business email compromise. Billions of dollars are lost this way every year. Smishing and Vishing extend the concept beyond email. Smishing is SMS phishing. A text message claims your parcel is held or your account has been suspended. Vishing is voice phishing. A caller pretends to be from your bank, your internet provider, or even a government agency. Some attackers use AI voice cloning to impersonate real people you know. Why does phishing still work despite decades of awareness campaigns? Because it exploits deep cognitive bias. Urgency bypasses deliberate thinking. When a message says your account will be closed in 24 hours, the panic response short-circuits the verification impulse. Authority bias makes us comply with requests that appear to come from institutions we respect. Familiarity bias means that a logo, a color scheme, and a familiar sender name feel trustworthy even when the underlying message is fake. Modern phishing pages are indistinguishable from legitimate ones to the naked eye. HTTPS padlocks appear on phishing sites too, because the certificate proves domain ownership, not honesty. Attackers register domains that look nearly identical to real ones using a technique called typo-squatting. PA1.com instead of PayPal.com. Support AmazonBilling.net instead of Amazon.com. Multi-factor authentication is the single most effective technical defense. Even if an attacker steals your password, they cannot log in without the second factor. However, real-time phishing attacks, sometimes called adversary-in-the-middle attacks, can relay the second factor in real time. The attacker sits between you and the real server, forwarding your credentials and one-time codes live. Phishing-resistant MFA uses hardware security keys, or passkeys, instead of codes. These are cryptographically bound to the real domain name. A security key will simply refuse to authenticate on a fake site because the domain does not match what was registered. This is the gold standard defense. Recognizing phishing attempts requires building a habit of verification, not just awareness. Check the actual domain in the URL bar, not just the display text of a link. Hover before clicking. When in doubt, navigate directly to the service by typing its address yourself. Call back on a number you found independently, not one provided in the message. Legitimate organizations almost never ask for passwords by email. Technical controls at the organizational level reduce attack surface significantly. Email authentication protocols such as SPF, TKIM, DKIM, and DMARC make it harder to spoof a domain. Anti-phishing browser extensions and email filters catch many known phishing pages. Security awareness training that includes simulated phishing exercises measurably reduces click rates over time. That is what phishing is and why it still works. Thanks for watching.